My name is Oscar Galvis. I'm a civil engineer. I have my master from the University of Texas at Austin, also my PhD from there, and currently the resident engineer working with New Mexico DOT, helping them with all the transportation asset management activities that they do for the state. Currently, this is my first job, the one that I'm where I am working right now. So my first job consisted on assisting New Mexico DOT, the Department of Transportation of New Mexico, to use a software related to transportation asset management. What drew me to this job actually was networking. I didn't know that this job existed, but actually learning and interacting with multiple people was what drew me. All these things drew me to get to this job. And in what ways my PhD helped me to land into this job and prepare to this job? I will say there were a lot of things and a lot of circumstances that just let me be prepared exactly for this job. One of them was the PhD topic. The topic that I was researching on was exactly the transportation asset management, which is the area where I am working right now. And the second one was my work as a graduate research assistant, which involved a lot of communication with the Texas Department of Transportation, and also it involved a lot of coding and interactions, right? So this kind of experience just prepared me exactly for this job, which honestly I didn't thought that it would prepare me for this job, or for a job in general, but actually what I was doing, prepared me for this job. So one of the best career advices that I received when I was in graduate school was to have a balanced life. And that balanced life, it involves multiple aspects of your life. And I think that has been the best advice that I received. So when we talk about balanced life is, you need to have boundaries for different areas of your life. Like your life is not only your research, is your family, your friends, your future work, all these kind of things that are happening there. And when you have boundaries, you can also say or see that you have spent this amount of time on research. Now you need to have a balance and also spend other time in your social life, networking, researching future jobs. I think that's crucial because unfortunately I saw very, very nice people, brilliant people, and that they just focus on their research and they didn't really spend time to go outside that bubble, and that's a mistake because you can lose the opportunity to meet other people and also explore your career opportunities. So the best advice that I received was to have a balanced life, so take breaks, explore social life, explore networking, do other things besides your research. And how did advice help me to explore careers, and apply for jobs besides the academy? Well, it is very crucial that you spend time researching what are your options. So your options after you do a PhD are not only being a professor, you have multiple options beyond academia, right? So I think if you are open to that, you will be able to find what is the right fit for you. And that's the reason you need to have a balanced life, because if your time is consumed just by your research, you will not have time to explore what are these other opportunities, right? So that advice helped me to have proportionate time between my research and other things. and that helped me to figure out, where I would like to go. How do I transform, all my achievements, my projects? How do I communicate all these things, you know, to people that are outside academia? I must confess that I didn't know how to do that. I mean, I didn't know how, you do a lot of projects, you write multiple papers, you do all these things, right? And you think, oh, I'm very, I'm overqualified for these things and all of that. But if you don't really communicate these things to other people in a way that they could relate and understand, actually, I mean, it is not really meaningful for them. So I must confess that I didn't know how to do that. So here is another advice. Attend a lot of these workshops about graduate careers engagement, attend all these workshops where they say about your resume, how do you do the resume, how you transform your accomplishment to something meaningful. And not only one, I will say you should go to multiple, because I went to multiples, and in each workshop I learned something different, and that makes the resume to stronger and stronger. So that's an advice. And I will say two things. How do you communicate your experience and your skills? I mean, there are two key things. The first one is even not about you, it's about doing the research about the position or the company, the place where you want to land. So you need to understand their culture, understand their goals, understand what is the position, what are they trying to fulfill. So that's the first part. You need to do your research and understand what they are needing. Because if you understand what they need, then you do the second step, which is transform your skills and your experience to something relevant to their needs. Basically, your job will consist to fulfill a need. So do you have, some of the questions that you need to consider is, have your experience, or does your experience help you to fulfill a need that they are having in that company or for that position? If you can match your experience and skills to their needs, then I mean, you will be successful. That's how you do it. And now about specific tips on skills and things like that, you can go to the workshops and they will go very detailed about how do you build your bullet points and how do you structure your phrases and all of that. But in general, if you have these two, research what is the position, the company where you are trying to apply, and understand their needs. And then second, transform your skill and experiences to fulfill those needs, then you will be successful. And the other question is, you well, in my case, I also have a very long resume, very long CV, right? 5-6 pages of things that you have learned, accomplishment, projects that you have worked. How do you transform this, multi-page CV into a one-page resume? I will say that for industry, you can highlight think about 3 to 5 things that you would like to highlight about your experience and about your skills. And I think you can start building from there. I don't think you need more. You don't need to have 10, 20 skills, things like that. If you know what are their needs, you can really pinpoint to specific skills that will help to address those needs. That's one thing. The second one is merge. Sometimes you can merge your experience into single groups and distinct groups. For example, if you have done multiple projects in research, you can summarize all of that in saying that you have worked in research and that you conduct research, you have conducted research, without going to details into specific projects at some point, if you don't want to highlight them. So I think there is always room for expand those things in the interviews. I think the resume is more like a prompt that will help them to put you in kind of a scale comparing with other applications. And then when they call you for the interview, it's the opportunity for you to highlight or expand more things that may not fit within the resume. But I think in general terms, you know, these are the two things. Highlight 3 to 5 things that address their needs. And if you think about those, you can construct your resume around these 3 to 5 things. And the second one, if you can merge some of your experience and skills, so you could have distinct groups in your resume about what you have done. How can you help them? Let me start sharing with you a little bit about my day-to-day work and at the current role that I have. So I'm working for a company, a software company in Austin. They are located in Austin, but the group that is consuming that software is here in New Mexico DOT. So I'm actually in New Mexico DOT, and I have kind of two bosses, if you say it like that. One of them is the company that hired me, the software company, and I get in contact with them, learn about the product, learn about this software, how it's evolving, and then I interact at the same time day to day, you know, with New Mexico Department of Transportation. And what I am doing is multiple meetings to understand what are their needs, what are their processes, how can the software help them to achieve their goals that they have in mind. And once you have that foundation, then you can start thinking about projects that you can do with them. So the other part of the day, so with the first one I will say is multiple communication. You need to have open communication all the time, both with the company, parent company, and with the New Mexico DOT. And then the other component is really more like the technical work, which is do some projects for them. So once we define the project, so I will just need to carry it over, so it will be fulfilled. Also sometimes support if they found that there are problems with the software, then I will need to investigate what is the problem, explore with them, check if it is really a problem or it was more like an user input error or things like that. And once I define that this is a problem, then I could move it forward so it could be solved. So communication is key, multiple meetings, keep the ball rolling with multiple projects, and you know, so you need to have kind of these skills of very good communication. Also you need to have be like kind of project management for all the projects that you are managing or you know, following through. So you need to be really understanding about their priorities and how do you manage the projects to get fulfilled. And yeah, that's basically it. I will be in a hiring committee for the position that I'm right now, and within my organization. I will be looking for these traits or these characteristics, these skills and these experiences. The first one will be they need to have knowledge of transportation asset management. So I will say, yeah, they need to have this skill or this experience of the technical knowledge. But I will say that's just one of 6 things that I will be looking for. So your technical work is important, your technical experience is important, and all that knowledge is important, but it's just 1/6 of other things that I will be looking for. The other one that I will be looking for is willingness to learn. Someone that will be open to learn new processes, learn, you know, all the things that entail the job, because there are a lot of things that are not taught in the university. So willingness to learn is key. The second one that I will be looking forward, you know, that I will be looking besides the knowledge is passion. You know, it needs to be someone that is self-motivated, that is, you know, really passionate about this work. um, because, you know, the passion is contagious. So if you bring passion, you can do a lot of things there. I will also be looking for critical thinking skills. So people that are able to really um, see problems from different angles, so they could tackle different challenges from different angles. That's very important. That's very important because more than saying that you will be ready to face a specific set of problems, you will be you will be facing problems that you may have not faced before, and you need to have this critical thinking analysis processing your incorporated within you, so you can analyze problems from different perspectives. Communications skills, I need someone that is not just embedded within technical work, but I will need someone that learn how to communicate, learn how to reach to clients, learn how to communicate with upper management, with decision makers, someone that is that could take something very complex and bring it to a non-technical audience. That's very important. Take communication skills. Someone that learns how to code is very relevant for this job as well. It doesn't matter which language, but if you know how to code and you know, you understand the whole process of coding, is very relevant for this job. So as you see, more like the technical part, that is transportation asset management, is just a component of all these other skills that you need to have.